Hi, and welcome back to Bible Class Online. I have a short riddle to start us off with today and to lead us into what we're going to be thinking about. What costs nothing but is worth everything, weighs nothing but can last a lifetime, that one person can't own but two or more can share. Have you any thoughts on what that might be? Friendship. Today we're going to be thinking about friendship, and not just any kind of friendship, but being a champion friend, how we can be a champion friend. The Bible has a lot to teach us about friendship because it's important, and our friends can have a big influence in our lives and our friendship with Jesus. Someone once said, if you show me your 5 closest friends, I will show you what you'll be like in 5 years' time. And how true that is. Our friends have a big influence on our character and can shape who we become. What do you look for in a friendship? A group of friends once were determined to get their friend to see Jesus, and nothing stopped them. Let's read about it in Mark chapter 2. A few days later, when Jesus again entered Capernaum, the people heard that he had come home. They gathered in such large numbers that there was no room left, not even outside the door, and he preached the word to them. Some men came, bringing to him a paralyzed man, carried by 4 of them. Since they could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through it, and then lowered the mat the man was lying on. There are a couple of things that we can learn about being a champion friend from this story. The first one is this: a champion friend gives their time. In the story I just read, when people heard Jesus was back in town, they wanted to find out more. They wanted to go and see him, and so a crowd started to gather where he was. But the 4 friends of the paralyzed man didn't head straight there. They got together, they came up with a plan, they sorted a stretcher, and they carried their friend who couldn't get there himself to Jesus, with the risk of maybe missing Jesus by the time that they got there. A champion friend gives their time, and we can see that from the story. They knew that their friend couldn't get there by himself, so time is something that they sacrificed for him to get him to where he wanted to be. How can you give more time to your friends? That's been quite difficult probably over the current lockdown, but maybe it's giving someone a face-to-face video call and catching up with them. Maybe when you get back into school, it's maybe spending more time with that person, listening to them, catching up on all that you've missed out on over this last year or so. You don't even have to arrange to do something fancy. When it comes to spending time with friends, you have to eat, they have to eat. So why not have them round for tea or go out for a meal? A champion friend gives their time. Secondly, a champion friend doesn't give up. Let me tell you a true story. A lady was taken to hospital one day very sick, and it ended up that she had to stay in for a while for tests to be done. Now, when 2 of her very close friends heard about what had happened, they wanted to go and see her. And when they found out what part of the hospital she was in, they went up to find her, but were stopped just outside the door where she was. Are you family? The nurse said. No, we're just good friends here to see our friend, and we won't stay for too long. Sorry, I can't help you in. It's only family is allowed in. How do you think they felt whenever they were turned away at the door? The next day, the 2 friends went to the fancy dress shop. They got together, they came up with a plan, and they bought nun costumes so they would look like people who worked in a church. And the nurses came into their friend's ward and started to clear up a bit and to fix her bed. Is everything okay? She asked the nurse. The nuns are here to see you, So I'm just making sure everything's in its proper place ready for them before they come in. Oh, I don't know any nuns, the lady said in bed. They're just outside and they said that they wouldn't be too long. So in came the friends, trying to keep their faces straight in these nun costumes. A champion friend doesn't give up. It could have been very easy for them just to say, well, we tried. We tried to go in and see our friend in the hospital, but we were turned away. Well, I just have to wait until she comes back out again. They put a wee bit of thought and a wee bit of creativity into what they were going to do, how they were going to go about seeing their friend. A champion friend doesn't give up. When the group of friends arrived carrying their friend to Jesus and saw the large crowd, they didn't say, oh well, we tried, and went off home. They came up with a creative way to solve the problem. Champion friend doesn't give up when faced with challenges or when times get hard. They're there to help work things out, whatever the problem is. And it might not be easy to work things out. You might not even know what to do. But they're still there to be with you through that process. A champion friend gives their time, and a champion friend doesn't give up when problems and challenges arise. Thirdly, and finally, a champion friend helps their friends become champions. I want to see my friends be the best they can be, to succeed in the things that they do and to reach their goals in life. I want to see the young people in Bible class achieve far more than I have. I want them to learn from all the leaders, to know what we know, and to start from there and to rise higher and go further than we have. The four friends in this story wanted what was best for their friend, and they helped him achieve what he couldn't achieve on his own. They got him to where he needed to be. A champion friend wants their friends to be the best and helps them become champions. How can you help your friends become champions and be the best that they can be? Maybe it's helping them at school or with some homework, or go and support them at a match or a competition that they're taking part in and cheer them on. Maybe at the minute it's just listening to them share something that they're struggling with. A champion friend gives their time, doesn't give up, and helps their friends become champions. Let me tell you about a champion friend I have. He is always there for me. He has never given up on me, and he always wants what is best for me. He brings out the champion in me and helps me get to where I belong. And his name is Jesus, and he wants to be your friend too. Jesus was able to help the paralyzed man with his biggest problem. And it wasn't that he couldn't walk, but it was the sin in his life, the stuff that separates us from God. It's the biggest problem that we all have. And if we ask Jesus to be our friend, he is able to sort out our biggest problem too and get us to where we belong. The question I leave with you this morning: is Jesus your friend?